Sometimes, you don't lift as well as you think you do, or you feel crap some weeks or some days, and all of that you have to go through. And the little moments like at comp where you experience those little bits of achievements, that I think is what keeps you going. Hi, my name is Leanne, and I'm a teacher, a powerlifter.
Long arms, lock those lats. Tight. Good. Push. Hands.
And a bunny lover. I originally did archery, so that was sort of the sport that I was getting into, and I was doing competitions and wanted to go further in that sport. So I started doing national comps, and realized that in order to do better, or to get myself better in archery, strength training and getting stronger was needed. So I've been going out with Mark for quite a few years, and he's ironically enough a strength and conditioning coach.
Most people want to increase their explosive power.
What?
We'll go again. Go ahead.
So I was like, hey Mark, you know a thing or two about strength and conditioning. Do you reckon you could help me out?
Well, I suppose when Leanne started training, it was, I wanted a very, very simple, easy approach for her to follow. So she just had a 3-day split that I had her on, fairly basic movements, fairly easy program to follow. Now her program's probably a lot more specific to her needs, because over the 2.5 years that she's been training with me, we've learnt things that have worked really well for her, as well as things that might not necessarily have worked as well over the time.
I guess you could say I caught the lifting bug. And I remember the first time Mark sort of went, well, what about competing? Would you ever consider competing? And initially I was like, nah. I think because I'd started seeing more and more progress happening, archery unfortunately started taking a back seat. And I started thinking to myself, going, this lifting thing, there's something to it. It's kind of addictive because firstly, I can see a lot of progress. I'm feeling a lot better with myself than I was originally. And you know what? Picking up things isn't that boring. It's actually pretty cool. So I think in 2018, so this is last year, just over a year ago, I competed in my very first powerlifting comp. And I think I really surprised myself leading up to my third comp, as I was seeing how it was progressing, and I was actually really enjoying it, even though I was putting my body through a lot of stress. As anyone who's competed understands that you do put your body through a lot of stress leading up to comp. I went, nah, let's do nationals.
Get around her. Come on, Leanne. Up. It's a good save at the end there. She's held her balance well. 3 white lights.
I medalled, so I got bronze in Australia, which was really cool. I went in with no expectation, and then just going, yeah, we'll see what happens. And so the fact is that I was considered a contender at comp, that was really humbling. a surprise for myself, and also a little boost in confidence. Sometimes when you're training and, you know, as you, like every day that you go in and, you know, sometimes, you know, you don't lift as well as you think you do, or you feel crap some weeks or some days, and, you know, all of that you have to go through. And the little moments like at comp where you experience those little bits of achievements, that I think is what keeps you going. So in my third comp, I hit my PB and bench, which was 87 kilos. At training day, I deadlifted 180. Also managed to secure a belt squat.
Come on. Push. Push. There we go. Easy. Come on. Lock it. Lock.
Nice.
Good.
So that's also another improvement. Thanks, Wayne. And for my squat, I also hit 136 kilos for squats. I currently teach at Blackburn English Language School. While some kids have a family tree, we have a family forest. I teach what you would call English as an additional language. I've been teaching for a few years now, but this year I took on a learning specialist role, and my role is mainly, I'm still in the classroom, so I still teach, and right now I'm currently teaching grade 2s, grade 3s, sometimes grade 4s, it can fluctuate. I only teach about 2 and a bit days a week, and all the other days my role is really mainly to support other teachers, to improve the, I guess, teacher capacity across the whole school. The best piece of advice I think actually comes from my mum. The main thing with whatever you do is that as long as you're happy. Now with lifting and powerlifting, she's come to a few of my comps now as well, and the same thing, she keeps insisting as long as what you're doing makes you happy. So I think that would be the advice that I would give others as well, you know, whatever you choose to do, you know, and it might change. It probably will, you know, you will go through different, you know, stages or interests or phases or whatever it is, but as long as you're happy with whatever level of commitment that you want to do, whether it is, you know, just casually, just for the enjoyment of it, or if you actually generally enjoy competitions, you know, but as long as what you're doing is making you happy, I think that's the most important thing. Come from like here or something,
Okay,
and
yeah.
then pan across. No, don't get the nail polish.
Oh, okay,
Books, get the books.
Okay,
I just want to thank Mark, who's been supportive of me with everything that I've decided, and also for being my coach as well, but mainly for being my partner in life, and obviously my parents, my mom and my dad, and also want to thank also Training Day. I mean, I think I've been now at Training Day Clayton ever since they've opened, and I think that the reason why I enjoy lifting as much as I do is purely, well, is a lot to do with the culture. You know, all the fantastic people who are also, you know, got the same interests, same commitments. And at the end of the day, when I finish work and I go to train, and I train most days of the week, you know, regardless of whether you had a really stressful day or you had a shit day, whatever it was, even a good day, doesn't matter. You go to the gym and the group of people there, you can just, it's a great, you know, community of people who just lift you up. Yeah, and they will support you, you know, whether you're just lifting casually for fun, whatever it is, or if you are training seriously and have a comp, you know, in mind. They are there. They will back you up. They will come and they will hold the camera for you when you want them to film, which I do ask regularly, or they'll come and they'll lift off for you or spot you or even just cheer you on and yell cues across the gym, you know, whatever you want, they're there. Yeah. So thanks.
Sweet. Awesome.
Good stuff.